What to do with your fears? Well, I'll tell you what I do with mine. It's very interesting because when I think of myself as a child, I actually see a very fearless child. Do you, when you think of yourself as a child, realize how fearless you were? What have you bought into as an adult? What fears have you brought into adulthood that the child in you never allowed yourself to think or experience? And what do these fears do for you? Because if we hold on to them, they serve some purpose in our lives. So today I'm here to invite you to look at your fears and see not just how they restrict and limit you, but actually make friends with them rather than working and trying all the time to let go of them and fight them. Stop fighting. Oh my goodness, every time I pass or I hear something from mainstream media, I pass some place where the television is on, or I see a billboard, everything seems to be about fear, 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 fear. Mainstream media sells fear, not just the news, but everything, everything, the advertisement, the shows, movies, all based on fear. It's pretty interesting how fear sells. And there's much money to be gained from fear. But try to sell something that's not based on fear. Try to sell peace, loving energies, peaceful, law abiding, peaceful, loving energies. And there doesn't seem to be money to be made. In fact, in my world of the world that I use as a wellness coach, people think I should not be charging money for what I do. Very interesting, isn't it? But if I were to sell fear, oh yes, I could charge as much as I wanted to. Very interesting, I think. So we devalue wellness, but we value fear based anything. It's time to change. So, what does one do with our fears? What do I do with my clients? I teach them how to sit with their fears. So, I'm inviting you today. If there's a fear that's really engulfing your life and you are saying, no more, I've had enough of this, sit with them, make friends with your fear until they dissipate. They just want to be acknowledged the same way that you would wish to be acknowledged. So, acknowledge your fears. If you say, I don't even know what my fears are, fine. Spend some time with yourself. Go for a walk among the trees and the flowers and the birds and the bees, or go to the ocean and just sit still for a moment. And they will come. Eventually, when you look for them, they will show up. I also teach my clients to map the fears out in their own mind. Map them, literally create a map. It's very important. I also suggest exploring their reach into the deepest, exploring the reach of these fears into the deepest recesses of your being. Explore how deeply ingrained these fears are and where did you get them from? Maybe they're not even yours. Maybe they were your mother's or your aunt's or your teacher's or a best friend or someone you didn't even like, and now you've got their fears. Give them back. Allow your fears enough room to reveal themselves to you. Once they reveal themselves to you, they will lose their sting. And then you can actually start eradicating them from your cells because they're encroached in our cells. They live in the cells of our bodies. And they actually, without realizing or not, we live our lives according to our fears. Every decision we make very often according to our fears. So disempower them by sitting with them, acknowledging them, mapping them out in your mind, exploring their reach into the deepest recesses of your being, and allow them enough room to reveal themselves to you. That's how you can start eradicating them from yourselves. So we can disempower our fears. They do not need to take over and own us. They do not need us to cater to them anymore. We've catered to them long enough. So By saying thank you to them and then issuing them a fond farewell, we can take back the power that was stolen from us when we gave our powers over to the fairs and we became disempowered. You're not a powerless being. You are a magnificent, marvelous manifestation of a very loving and generous universe. So I invite you today to sit with your fears, acknowledge them, let go of them. If you are not able to do this on your own, work with someone like me who works with this, and you will find that when you do this work, whether on your own or with someone else, the magical part of your life begins to suddenly take over from the fearful part of your life, and the powerful being that you are now becomes a reality. So, thank you for being with me today. Please click the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, or the notification if you'd like more of this or if this is of any assistance to you whatsoever. And join me every weekday at the same platform here for these elegantly raw tidbits. Thank you so much, and please leave your comments below.